Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Bengals, and leading them is the same man that's led them since 2011. Their second leading passer in franchise history, and that's Andy Dalton. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And Dalton to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Hands up to the team. Check 53. Hey, we got to get this stop here, team.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, but it's going to be 2nd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people. Catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think that if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
When you're the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft of 2017, puts a little extra scrutiny. Defensive end Myles Garrett is certainly used to it. In 2018, came into his own his 2nd year in the league with 13.5 sacks and really expects to increase that total in years to come.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
The Browns ready to go to work here on offense, and their man behind center, well, that's Baker Mayfield, the #1 overall pick last season, who set a rookie record with 27 touchdown passes. Now Mayfield throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
First down, Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the Bengals' 38-yard line.
Good. 180. Watch Mike. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Mayfield on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys gonna come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And again, it's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Point after, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw again, Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything.
It's caught at the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Check 59.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Dalton here from the gun. Looking sideline, incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That backs them up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down.
I'm too strong out here. Too big for you.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. And got his man complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Well, they did the part they had to do. Quick throw, got the 1st down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
58, right over there.
So now Dalton. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense